top 12 cars are going to re-qualify from today. Yesterday's times are thrown out. The top 6 will advance to the Firestone Fast 6. Fastest qualifier in the Firestone Fast 6, of course, starts on pole for the greatest spectacle in racing. But
this race, and he runs so well here. 2 victories, could almost have been 3. He goes brilliantly in qualifying as well. This is his 4th year a row in which he has made the top 12, and I am hearing not a lot of lift. Not a lot of lift at all.
Takuma Sato is all about a very simple mantra, an ethos statement that exists on every ball cap he's worn for the last 20 years. It says no attack, no chance. He is willing to leave it all out on the racetrack in the search.
Pulling incredibly close to the wall on the exit of 4 for Takuma Sato. Over the line.
Checker flag.
And it is a
P1.
231, 686.
Here, the final lap, you want to be able to stay flat through that 4th corner, and Rosenqvist does just that.
Checkered flag, red 12, checkered flag. Good job there, P1.
P1, and not by a small margin.
James, what I saw there, I've never seen that kind of work happening after you pass through tech inspection to get to the line, as Robert Schwartzman, the rookie, is on track and flying.
This young man has been so impressive over the last 24 hours. Until this week, he had never driven on an oval, had never even seen the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and he drives for a brand new team which has struggled throughout 2025 to make an impression, but it is a team with a rich history. They've been in operation for 40 years. They've averaged a driver and team championship in every one of those years, racing in Europe. Prema Racing making its Indy 500 debut. Robert Schwartzman making his top 12 debut. 233.1, 232.5, average speed over 3 with a 231.0. He's bleeding time, and he's down to 232.2.
And he's having to work for it, Will. That car not perfect. You're seeing that throttle trace move up and down, back and forth through the corners. Ideally on a qualifying run here, you're pinned. You're flat out the whole way. Robert really having to drive this thing.
Sketch factor 10 with 2 corners to go. Schwartzman never raced on an oval, as you said, Will. He's got 1 corner to go, and he might be in the Firestone Fast 6.
If he can avoid the slowest 3 times, that is exactly where Robert Schwartzman will be on debut at the Indianapolis 500. Robert Schwartzman is the 2nd fastest time, and he's through to the Fast 6. Through to the Fast 6.
And guys, we're watching one of the greatest ever to do it in an Indycar. Scott Dixon is a 6-time champion. He's got 58 wins under his belt, an Indy 500 back in 2008. And if he qualified, or he's qualified for this race, when he takes the green flag next Sunday, he will break the record for the most number of starts in the IndyCar series at 408. This guy is a living legend. He is 44 years old, and he is still just as fast as anyone.
Let's enjoy watching him behind the wheel. Let's listen and learn with the master. We've lost 3 Penske's. Dixon with an average of 232.017 over 3 laps. What's he got over 4? Is it better than Malukas? It's a 231.971.
Same driver trying to pass with 10 to go, ends up in the wall. Then, of course, 2024 was leading on the last lap when he was passed into turn 3 by Joseph Newgarden. Right now, going strong with a 232 average after 2 laps.
Track still stays at 124 degrees.
deploy into 3.
As the call comes from the team for Pato O'Ward to start using the hybrid charge right here as he enters turn 3. There you see it light up green. The radius looked like it was starting to grow in the corners for Pato with that high track temp. 232.2 the average. He's on pace, good enough certainly to transfer to the fast 6, but he's got to hang on for one more lap.
Lap 3 average takes him to a 232.172. You have to be in the top 6 to transfer. And only 9 drivers. If you're just joining us, the news is Scott McLaughlin from Penske crashed in practice, out of top 12 qualifying. His teammates Joseph Newgarden and Will Power have failed technical inspection. They have been withdrawn from the top 12 qualifying session as well. We are down from 12 to 9 cars, meaning 3 will be eliminated if they all run 4-lap averages. Pato O'Ward completes the 4, takes the checker, crosses the line, and for O'Ward, it's second fastest. A very, very tidy 4-lap run.
You know the downforce on Felix Rosenqvist? Well, the two teams, Meyer Shank and Chip Ganassi, share a technical partnership. Open notebook. They trade information. They work as one sort of big group here to put it all together as Alex Palou tries to put it all together on track.
And this is the guy that's been putting it all together all year long. 4 wins out of 5 races on the season, running away with the championship lead. We thought maybe the ovals would be where people could start to claw back some points. He's never won on an oval as Alex Palou, but he was the fastest man in qualifying yesterday, and he's on course now to see what he's got.
And Will, he's a 3-time champion, but without an oval win, he's the only Indycar champion, 1 time or 3 times, that has never won on an oval.
Palou's hanging on.
The disappointment last year for Alex Palou. He started from 14th. It can't be that bad this year, but he may not make the fast 6 if he cannot find something magic on this lap. He is bleeding time and losing out. David Malukas currently transfers on a 231.599. Palou's dropped to a 231.7 average. He's utilizing the hybrids now. He is narrowly ahead of David Malukas. Can Palou transfer to fight for the pole here at the Indy 500?
Hybrid power used up coming out of 4. It's going to be close.
Over the line for Palou, and it's good enough. Up to 5th for Alex Palou. Drops a plucky and valiant effort from David Malukas down. Is who advances then to the Firestone Fast 6. 2-time Indy 500 winner Takuma Sato. 3-time champion Alex Palou, 1-time winner and 6-time champion Scott Dixon. And look at the top 3. Look at the fastest 3. Robert Schwartzman, a rookie. Pato O'Ward, who had his heart broken by this place twice. And Felix Rosenqvist, the fastest of all the fast 6. These 4 drivers will duke it out for the right to race in the Indianapolis 500. There are 33 starting spots and only 33 starting spots on the grid, which means that one of these drivers will go home.
And have another chance as long as time still remains.
The thing that's crucial, though, at this time of day, if you were with us for the last hour in the top 12 shootout, you heard us talk about track temp. High track temp, slow speed. That's bad for the cars, bad for these tires. The track temp is falling. We are past the point of day where we've got the hottest track temp, which means every subsequent run, the track might be getting a little bit cooler, and that's a little bit faster.
So at 57 minutes, the goal is to be the last one to make the last attempt when the track is the most ideal. But for Marcus Armstrong right now, it is hold the throttle wide open, maybe save that hybrid deployment until the final lap.
Marcus Armstrong yesterday for the Indianapolis 500. Deployment of the last of the hybrid for Armstrong. Over the line for him. The benchmark time, the benchmark speed to beat, 229.091 miles an hour.
Finished second
To the green flag.
to one of the legends of IndyCar racing, Sam Hornish, in his first ever 500. He's been 3rd, 4th, 5th. He's done everything here but win. And as he lines up to try to make it into his 20th start, he is so desperate to finally take that victory here.
I mean, on some level, Marco has to be asking himself, how is it after all this experience I find myself at the back right now on the outside looking in? He knows one person will go home. He also knows that it could be one tiny mistake that takes him out of the running. So he's got to hit his marks here. Perfect for 4 laps and 16 corners.
Pretty fast warm-up lap. By all measures, a 2:19.
Loosen up a little bit. I wonder if that tight line is asking too much of the rear tires.
Has it lost him time in comparison to Armstrong? Over the line for Andretti, and it's good enough to beat him. 2:29.741.
Turn 4 beautifully in the sunshine, but right here, Jacob Abel goes into the shade. Turn 1, the grandstand shaded. That means it's a different temperature. The eyes are having to adjust at 229, 230 miles an hour as you turn in.
Here's the thing, you can't change your visor. So you look at Jacob Abel has the mirrored tint visor. He needs that for the sun, for the glare, but when he goes into turn 1 into those shadows, the world is extra dark. It's shadows plus his tinted visor down there. So challenging conditions just from a visibility standpoint.
Not the fastest warm-up lap we've seen so far today. Why is that important? Because it gives you the launch into the all-important first lap. Over the line for that first lap, saying everything looks good, but it's not fast. It's a 4-lap average. It won't contest with Armstrong or Andretti.
Checker flag.
It will be a 2:27.112 to watch, running for his 3rd consecutive win. Kevin, what can you tell us about Rinus VeeKay?
Well, he's never been in this situation before. The 24-year-old has qualified in the top 7, all 5 of his Indy 500s, front row 3 times, but in the practice early afternoon, even on his 2nd run, couldn't reach 225, said the car is terrible, it's undrivable. They did make it better, but it is not a gimme. He needs to be able to beat his teammate to be in safe for now.
That's a great point, Kevin. The 2 cars have been pretty closely matched in performance. I'd give the advantage to VeeKay's car so far, but I'll tell you from the cockpit, VeeKay's got to be careful. If he throws this thing on the wall, he's out. So he has to really measure risk versus reward on this run.
Over the course of 4 laps, Rinus VeeKay comes to complete his 4-lap run. It won't set the world on fire, but it will be quicker than his teammate. As it stands, VeeKay is in the Indianapolis 500.
His speed and can put himself further up the charts. If he can put Marcus Armstrong between himself and Jacob Abel, then he's in, no matter what Abel does in response. So there is an awful lot on the line for VeeKay right now.
And with Abel next in line, imagine he did something amazing, jumped up like with his teammate, and then suddenly Armstrong finds himself out. That is the jeopardy. That is the brilliance of last year's qualifying.
And guys, these are teammates, which means they are sharing information. They can see everything the other one's doing. They know every setup change. They know everything that's happening. And you can't keep any secrets, but you don't want to give it away to your biggest competition to just make the race.
Here we go.
Was not a very fast warm-up speed, but lap 1 is not very fast.
Rolled the dice to see if he could go faster. And as he crosses the line, the answer, I'm afraid, will be that he hasn't. It's a 2:26.9. This 500, 4-lap stand between Jacob Abel and a dream come true.
And almost certainly Jacob Abel's car is hotter now than it was on his first run. Just like Rinus VeeKay's. He has 98%, essentially a full charge of the hybrid capacitor. So he's in good shape to use that.
Townsend, on Rinus VeeKay's warm-up lap, you noted that time considerably slower than what we've seen. It was about 200 miles an hour on the warm-up lap. Jacob Abel, 215.
Critical handling feedback, though. It's not just a straight line performance. The team telling Abel, you're too tight. Use your weight jacker. Adjust the handling in the cockpit to stay ahead of the controls.
VeeKay's first lap was at 2:27. Abel's first lap is at 2:26.5. He hoping to make it in. The question, as he rolls to the yard of bricks, is Jacob Abel. And he's not. It's a 226.394. Takuma Sato for Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan Racing begins the 4-lap run to determine the fast 6.
239 miles an hour, T-Bell into turn 1, flat out, no hesitation on the throttle whatsoever. This is such a fun feeling from inside the race car. Your heart's in your stomach. You're trying to keep the nerves calm, keep very focused on everything you got to do.
There is a process for Takuma in the race car. All of those adjustments, the speed jacker, the weight jacker, the roll bars, the hybrid system, and you still have to steer the thing and keep your eyes on the prize.
Guys, doing one of these runs with all those adjustments, all those things you got to take care of, it's like you're driving down the highway, adjusting the radio, turning, looking in your mirror.
To set the benchmark in the Firestone Fast 6 for RLL, Taku takes a 2:32.478.
Couldn't pick a more different personality type to Sato's approach, who just ran. Alex Palou is about methodical, step-by-step process, reading the environment, determining how big of a chance you're going to take based on what the track and the car gives you.
One of the first things I like to look at on these runs, T-Bell, is that trap speed in turn one. That's your top speed turning in. He was a mile an hour slower than what we saw from Takuma Sato. Can he make it up in the corners? Can he make it up in consistency over the 4 laps?
So that begs the question, what kind of downforce will his team elected to go with for this run?
Are they going for safety? Are they going for outright pace? We will see as he crosses the line of bricks. I have a suggestion, a thought of what it might be. All-out pace, it most certainly is, a 2:31.946.
Driver comes to complete the 4-lap average.
He's been the fastest man all week, but I don't think this is going to be enough. Palou goes second. Takuma Sato stays on provisional pole. He gets the green flag. He starts his run, and the warm-up lap time slower than his teammate, actually, at 2:18.
And again, that speed into one, 2:37, so a little bit down again from what we saw out of Takuma Sato in the number 75. And there you see it, our ghost car. Takuma Sato slightly ahead. Dixon trying to pull it back, rolling through 3. Rolling mid-corner through 4, minimum speed, 229 miles an hour. Not even a hint of a lift off the throttle.
And he's slightly behind Sato, as the ghost car will show you. Double run out of the final corner. It's good, but will it be good enough? Sato's at 2:32.478. Dixon's average for the 4 is a 2:32.0. He has had some of the fastest first laps we've seen all week. He is going for it. He will going for it. And just keep a look at that throttle trace, because I guarantee he won't lift unless he absolutely has to. Robert Schwartzman, the rookie sensation, on his first lap here for the brand new Team Prema.
Hands looked pretty decisive on turn-in, those red gloves popping behind the windscreen, and Schwartzman took control of his car and just forced it to the apex.
Car just tickled 238 entering turn 1. I saw just the tiniest little breathe on the throttle in 3, but absolutely committed. Look, the worst he can start in his first 500 is 6th.
And at the moment, he's tracking ahead of Takuma Sato. For Robert Schwartzman, the rookie of the Indianapolis 500, down to the yard of bricks and over the line. It's P1 for Robert Schwartzman, and the crowd salute a new hero.
Right now, welcome to the front row.
And with all the celebrations, look at what that means to him. Look at what it means to him. Front row on debut. Guys, we've got one of the biggest stars in the championship on a green flag lap. Pato O'Ward for Arrow McLaren, circulating at speed with intent and purpose, hoping to knock Robert Schwartzman off provisional pole for the Indy 500. Schwartzman's first lap was in the 2:33s for Pato O'Ward from Mexico, the darling of the crowd, the darling of the Indycar series. His first lap is only a 2:32.4.
Which it's depleting. He will not use it all on this run.
It will not be pole for Pato O'Ward, but where will it be? It's third for O'Ward, narrowly ahead of Scott Dixon. We're about to find out. 4-lap stand between Felix Rosenquist and pole position for the Indianapolis 500.
He saw 239 miles an hour on the front straightaway, Will.
That's what you want to see at the start of a qualifying run.
Excellent speed down the straightaway, wide open on the throttle. Rosenqvist will bend it into 3 for the first time in anger, and there you see the tracker.
And the tracker has Schwartzman just ahead of Rosenqvist. But Rosenqvist, with all of his experience, all of his nous, all of the qualifying runs that he has committed to memory here at the Indianapolis 500, I don't think it's there. I think this is going to be history. For the first time in 43 years, we're going to have a rookie on pole for the Indy 500. Rosenqvist across the line, and it's 5th.